Recorded Books and RB Digital present The Spartan Dagger by Nicholas Guild. Narrated by Pete Bradbury. Chapter 1. It was the coldest autumn anyone could remember. Eurytus sat in the shadow of a rock face, tapping the flat of his dagger against his knee as he cursed not the cold, but the moonlight. He hadn't eaten in 2 days, and the moon was as bright as a new gold coin. The night sky was nearly cloudless. The valley beneath them seemed a stark landscape, full of hard lines and deep shadow. A faint wind blew across it, but the naked branches of its few scattered trees hardly stirred. In daylight it probably would have appeared a different place, but at night, in the tarnished moonlight, it was the land of the dead. His brother Teleclos was asleep and untroubled by such reflections. "Go out and whet your blades," their father had told them. "A warrior kills without remorse or pity. Become warriors." A quarter of a century before, their father had wet his blade in Helot blood. Eurytus thought him very like Teleclos in temperament, endowed with a warrior's perfect confidence. In his middle 40s he was still tall and slim, broad-shouldered and powerful. With his black hair and pale blue eyes, which both his sons had inherited, he had the face of a bird of prey. "To have both of you selected for the Crypteia is an honor for our house. We have too many Helots as it is. When you need food, steal it. Plunder them, even of their lives, and prove your manhood." The difficulty was that the Helots also seemed to know about the Crypteia, and after dark they mostly kept indoors. It was rare to catch anyone on the roads at night, and to venture into their villages might be to disappear forever. 3 days ago they had almost surprised a herdsman, but he saw them in time to save himself, scampering away like a rabbit, but leaving behind a reed flute and his dinner bag. They had shared a small loaf of bread and a piece of goat cheese wrapped in leaves. They had been on the march ever since, farther and farther south, hoping that a day and a half's march from Sparta the Helots might feel themselves safe. Eurytus knew it might prove necessary to enter a village. They couldn't return home until they had each made a kill. Better to die the worst death than to face the dishonor of failure. But the mere thought of venturing in among Helots made his skin tingle with fear, and his fear shamed him. Fear was unworthy of a Spartan, and yet it would come unbidden, to be torn apart by a mob of slaves. At the ceremony it had seemed so simple. The elders together had offered a sacrifice of a kid at the shrine of Artemis, and declared the annual war against the conquered peoples, thus absolving of blood guilt any who killed a slave, who was in any case the property of the state. And the 10 young men who would go out in pairs to accomplish the rite had been selected from among the best of those who had just finished their military training. Eurytus, described by his instructors as the perfect soldier, brave, disciplined, and cunning, had known he was certain of a place, and Teleclos had been almost as deserving. "You will enjoy yourselves," their father had said as Eurytus and Teleclos set out. "It's no different from a hunting party, except that you kill men instead of deer or wild boar. And trust me, wild boar are more dangerous than the Helots. They are slaves in their souls." So they had each been given a dagger and a leather bag full of water, and had been sent off south over the hills. But Eurytus knew this would be no deer hunt. Even a slave will fight for his life, and 1 man, or even 2, cannot prevail against 20, not armed with a blade no longer than a crow's wing. The Crypteia was a test of stealth no less than of courage. Hence the name, the hidden. One concealed oneself during the day, for to be discovered was to hazard death, and at night one stole food and killed. "They will have to go into a village," Teleclos announced, now apparently awake. "It's a serious risk." "Nevertheless, we have to eat, and when should a Spartan be afraid of risk?" Teleclos grinned as if issuing a challenge, and what else could it be? In the moonlight Eurytus could see his face clearly. It was like seeing his own reflection.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?